Hey everybody, this is Straight Draw, and we're showing the ring method in a two-part video. The first part was an animation where I went through these shots, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the playthroughs for each of those shots. So if you didn't see the prior video, this might not make quite as much sense, but let's get started. So our first shot is one you're going to do all the time. It's my Apocalypse level 4. And we have 9.1 miles per hour of wind, but this plays about 10% downhill. Well, 10% of 9 is 0.9, so we're actually going to adjust for exactly 10% downhill. And what I want you to focus on here is, and I'm going to draw a line across here because we can't see the take shot box, right? It's in here somewhere, and I'll draw it. And so watch, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to do 10 mile per hour wind. The scaling factor is 1.7, so 1.7 miles per hour per ring. And 6 times 1.7 is 10.2. So we're trying to do right at 6 rings. So we're going to try to just be able to see just a small piece of the yellow ring, right? This would be 1 ring, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're going to do just less than 6. So let me get those off of there so you can see what we're doing. Let's start the video. And there you can see, oops, see if I can back that up slightly, right? And so you can see that I got the adjustment that I wanted. And now let's clear off those markings and you can see, here's the shot. By the way, I'm leaning into the wind. You see that left curl I'm putting on the ball? That's just to kind of hit it straight. Though got a crosswind of 9 miles per hour, so I gave it about a quarter ball of left curl just to keep hitting it straight down the fairway. All right, so that's our first shot. Our second shot is a quarterback, and the scaling factor is 1.1. So this means that we need to do almost exactly 10 bars. 10 bars. I'm going to see if I can kind of draw a line there. And oops, okay, so there's the top of the take shot box. I did get it right. And then you see I went just a little more than 10. Why? Well, it's about 10.1. It's an estimate, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see that was how I do 10 rings in one pull. And the ball ends up where we need it to. So our third shot's going to require a little bit of explanation, right? So this is not a full distance adjustment. Somewhere right around here is where the club breaks from the Hornet, which is shown at the beginning of the video, and the Grizzly, which is what we're going to shoot. So the Grizzly's level 8, and it has a 1.0 distance adjustment, but we're way back at the minimum. Right, its minimum is right at 1.4, medium is 1.1, and so what I did was I kind of split the difference, and I'm using a scaling factor of 1.2 miles per hour per ring. So I wanted to pause there and explain so you can see how this comes up. So let's go ahead and start the video. And you can see moving through there it splits. So I know that I'm shooting close to minimum distance. Now this is a rough bump, and there's going to be a future video just on rough bumps and how to do them. But I need to get this really precise. So 1.2, I'm trying to adjust for 10.6 or 10.7. So I know that 9 times 12 is 108. So I'm trying to do exactly 9. And oops, there I tried to get the line drawn. I didn't quite make it, but you can see that was about 9 bars. And on that one, it's really hard to tell how many bars you're doing. And I do get lucky. By the way, that maybe had a 25% chance of going in, but that's what you do. You do your wind adjustments as carefully as you can, and you give yourself a good chance of it going in. So the fourth shot that we're going to look at is also a Grizzly. This one is 1.0, and let me pause this. This one is also 1.0, but the problem is you see how far downhill that is, right? So this plays about 25% downhill, right? So we talked about how we're going to adjust this to 10.3. So 10% of 8 is 0.8, double that to get 20%, 1.6, and then half of that 0.8 is 0.4, so 1.6 and 1.4 is 2.0. So I'm adding 2.0 to the 8.3 to get 10.3. And if that math didn't make sense to you, I'm sorry, but that's the math you have to get good at, and different people estimate them in different ways. But that's how I do it. So this one's playing 10% downhill. We're going to be adjusting for 10.3 miles per hour, but the Grizzly level 8 has a 1.0 scaling factor, so we just need to do 10.3 rings. And as we start this up, you'll see. Now, look at this danger. My problem here is that if I pull straight back, I'm in danger of hitting the rough. So you see how I moved forward? Okay, so this is going to be a little better. And then I'm going to get the arrow pointing straight up and down. So I'm getting the shot adjusted correctly. And then there's the top of the take shot box. And then I want 10.3. So there you see it. Again, we're trying to give ourselves a high percentage chance of these going in. And this one does. Nope, this one rolls right by. So that's a good shot though. That was close. That's exactly what you want to do. So let's take a look at the last video. This is a Hornet level 8, and this is an interesting one. Let's pause this one and let me talk about it for just a second. So another huge downhill. So we're going to have an elevation, and it's a huge wind. All right. So the Hornet, I'm using medium distance. You'll see that I'm actually going to take the shot up here when I line it up. And so I'm doing 30%. This is the one I got wrong. So 30%, I would add about 4 miles per hour of wind. So we're trying to adjust for about 17 miles an hour of wind. And that would be about 14 and a half rings. But I did the math wrong, and you'll see 15 and a half rings. Let's go and watch. Okay, so I see I can't get enough backspin on to land it there, so I've moved back. And you don't see me measuring whether it's medium or minimum, but I've played this hole a lot, so I kind of know where I'm at and how much it'll be. And let's see. So get the wind adjustment, and oops, maybe right there. Yep, so there's 10, and then, yep. So I probably got about 15 rings instead of 14 and a half. So I misadjusted it, but God bless America. I missed it and it rolled. I hope you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, please put them in the, please put a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you have. There should be some more videos in this series coming soon. So play free, have fun, straight out.